the beach. I'm pretending that I'm at the beach. I'm really on my front porch. You can probably hear the cars going by. But I'm pretending that I can hear the ocean. Listen, you might be able to hear it if you pretend. Can you hear it? It's fun to pretend to go to the beach when we really can't go to the beach right now. Let's pretend that we're going on a trip to the beach together. I wonder what's in the story bag today. I'll bet there's a story about the ocean or the beach. Oh, Commotion in the Ocean. Commotion in the Ocean by Gilles Andrea and David Wojciechowicz. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the ocean. I think we ought to go and take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea swimming through the pages of this book. There are dolphins, whales, and penguins. There are jellyfish and sharks. There's a turtle and a big white polar bear. But can you see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks? Let's take a look and find who's hiding there. The crab likes walking sideways, and I think the reason why is to make himself look sneaky and pretend that he's a spy. We crawl up the beach from the water to bury our eggs on land. We lay a whole batch, and then, when they hatch, they scamper about in the sand. That was the turtles. Dolphins. The wonderful thing about dolphins is hearing them try to speak. It's not, how do you do? As I'd say to you, it's more of a click, whistle, squeak. Angelfish. Hello, I'm the angelfish, darling, the prettiest thing in the sea. What a shame there are no other creatures as gorgeous and lovely as me. Jellyfish. The jellyfish just loves to jiggle, which other fish think is quite dumb. She knows that it's not all that useful, but jiggling's lots of good fun. Shark. I swim with a grin up to meet you. See how my jaws open wide? Why don't you come a bit closer? Please take a good look inside. Yikes! Swordfish. I love to chase after small fishes. It keeps me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword. Octopus. Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think it looks a bit funny, but it helps me to hold all my children and tickle each one on the tummy. Stingray. At the bottom of the ocean, the stingray flaps his wings, but don't you get too close to him, his tail really stings. Lobster. Never shake hands with a lobster. It isn't a wise thing to do. With a clippity-clap and a snippity-snap, he will snip all your fingers in two. Deep sea. Miles below the surface, where the water's dark and deep, live the most amazing creatures that you could ever meet. There are fish of all descriptions, of every shape and size. Some have giant pointy teeth and great big bulging eyes. Some of them can walk around and balance on their fins, but the strangest fish of all have glowing whiskers on their chins. Blue whale. There is no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures a massive 100 feet long from his head to the tip of his tail. We're just a bunch of barnacles, and all we do is cling. We know it's not that glamorous, but it's our favorite thing. Walruses. Our bodies are covered with blubber, and our tusks are incredibly long. We're grumpy and proud, and we bellow out loud to show that we're mighty and strong. Penguins. We waddle around on our icebergs, which makes our feet slither and slide. And when we get close to the water, we leap with a splash off the side. Polar bears. Deep out in the Arctic, the mommy polar bear snuggles up with all her children since it's very cold out there. What a lot of creatures we have seen beneath the sea. What a lot of funny things they do. Some of them might lick their lips and eat you in one bite, and some might want to swim around with you. The dolphin's very friendly and the lobster's very fierce, but the shark is the most dangerous by far. Can you name the other friends we've made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are. The end. I liked that book because it was a rhyming story. And I also liked it because it taught us about lots of different types of sea creatures. Did this one remind you of a song? I bet it's a song you know. Would you like to sing it together? Let's do the actions together. Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark. Mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark. Daddy shark doo 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 doo, daddy shark doo 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 doo, daddy shark doo 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 doo, daddy shark. Grandpa shark doo 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 doo, grandpa shark doo 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 doo, grandpa shark doo 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 doo, grandpa shark. Let's go hunt doo 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 doo, let's go hunt doo 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 doo, let's go hunt doo 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 doo, let's go hunt. Swim away doo 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 doo, swim away doo 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 doo, swim away doo 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 doo, swim away. Save at last doo 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 doo, save at last doo 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 doo, save at last doo 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 doo, save at last. It's the end doo 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 doo. Something else that I like to do besides looking at sea creatures when I'm at the beach is finding seashells. I wonder if there's any in my bucket. Look at all the different kinds of shells that I found at the beach. I found periwinkle shell and a sand dollar, a scallop shell, and a moon snail, a murex shell, and an auger shell. There are two kinds of each shell here. Let's see if we can match them. Here's one periwinkle. Can you find the other periwinkle? Here it is. Here's one sand dollar. Let's see if we can find the other sand dollar. It looks a little different. Here it is, here. Now here's an auger shell. Can you find the other one that looks like that? Here it is. Now, here's a moon snail. These can get really big. This is a pretty small one. Can you find another one that looks like that? It's right here. Now, here's a murex shell. It's kind of spiky. Do you see another one that's the same? There it is. And that leaves two scallop shells. There should be one more story in the story bag today. It should be about the ocean or the beach. Let's see. On Poppy's Beach. On Poppy's Beach, written by Susan Pin Taylor, illustrated by David Sturge. On Poppy's Beach, the seagulls call, a few more lazy raindrops fall, the tide runs low, the sun climbs high, as fog slips from the harbor sky. On Poppy's Beach I sniff the air as breezes softly tease my hair. It smells so fresh and salty too, all tangled with the morning dew. On Poppy's Beach the brown sand warms, a cotton candy rainbow forms. The ocean sparkles diamond bright below the fluff puff clouds of white. On Poppy's Beach a boat I see. The fishermen wave back at me. They're checking all their lobster traps and bringing in the morning catch. On Poppy's Beach a small crab peeks. I pop some seaweed and it squeaks. While silent in the cool blue sea, a jellyfish looks up at me. On Poppy's beach, a wave rolls in and wets my toes, but I just grin. I stoop to greet a pink starfish and close my eyes to make a wish. On Poppy's beach, I watch the spray of humpbacks breaching in the bay, a school of dolphins laughing too, while playing games of peekaboo. On Poppy's beach, seashells I find, my buckets filled with every kind. I keep the ones I like the best to hide home in my treasure chest. On Poppy's beach, he mends his nets, and just before the gold sun sets, I build a castle with a moat as Poppy warms me with his coat. On Poppy's beach, the tide gets higher as friends show up, start up a driftwood fire. While Poppy fiddles, I play spoons to Eyes the Bye and other tunes. On Poppy's beach, our neighbors' lips tell tales of mermaids, pirate ships. I've seen them only in a book, but just in case, I sneak a look. On Poppy's beach, stars peep and glow. My eyes are closing far below. The moonrise lights us all about, but I don't want to leave. I pout. On Poppy's beach, it's getting colder. I rest my head on Mama's shoulder. Hugs for Poppy and for Nan. I say, I'll come back when I can. I wave goodnight, and though I'm small, such happy times I will recall and cherish still, when out of reach, these childhood days on Poppy's beach. The end. Well, that was such a nice story about going to the beach with your family. Well, since we can't go to the beach together, maybe we can go to the science lab and make a beach together. Well, here we are in the science lab together, and we have everything that we need to make our beach in a bottle. So if you want to do this at home, you'll need some water, a jar with a tight-fitting lid, some cooking oil or baby oil, and some blue food coloring. You also can have a little sea creature to put in your bottle. I couldn't find any small ones, but if you have a small one, that would work. And a spoon to stir. So first of all, you're gonna fill your jar 2/3 full. So just leave a little bit of room at the top for the oil. Then you add the blue food coloring and then stir it up so that it sort of looks like ocean water. Then you fill the rest of the bottle up with oil. Make it go right to the top. Now, oil and water are two different kinds of liquids, and they don't mix together. So what's going to happen in the bottle is you're going to have oil on the top and water on the bottom. And that's what makes it look like the ocean. And you can shake it up and watch it. Does it remind you of being at the ocean, being at the beach? Let me set it down here. Does it look like waves in the ocean? I think it's really pretty. Well, that was the beach day, boys and girls. That's everything that we have for today. Do you remember what we did? We started off by reading Commotion in the Ocean, the rhyming book about sea creatures. And then we sang Baby Shark. Also, we did a matching game with the seashells. And then we read On Poppy's Beach, and we made our own beach together in the science lab. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.